Thanks for staying with us. I'm Arba Kumsa. Now, police in the eastern region say they have stepped up security in Asokore and surrounding towns in that region after supporters of the governing NDC and opposition NPP clashed in a violent attack when their paths crossed during a health walk organized by their parliamentary candidates over the weekend. Well, scores of supporters are said to be injured in the wake of the attack that also resulted in the destruction of vehicles and other properties. Reports indicate that the supporters pelted stones at each other at some point. The two parties are pointing accusing fingers at each other, while police are yet to arrest anyone in connection with the violence. However, they have cautioned the leadership of the political parties to rein in their members. DSP Nketia Yeboah is PRO for the Eastern Regional Police.
Situation now normalized. In fact, the whole yesterday and night, the patrol teams, all our attention was on Asokore because there was the suspicion that there could be a retaliatory attack. So, so far, so good.
And we have information that yesterday both the NDC and the NPP did not use the approved routes. Have you arrested any in the clashes at all?
First of all, I want to do this so that none of the two will blame the police. My attention has been drawn to some justifications. So since police were investigating to know who had the right of way, who disobeyed the law, I will leave that one out without even saying anything. But there's evidence. There's evidence of the discussion on the rules to be used and where not to use to avoid such occurrence due to a crash that nearly erupted about 3 weeks ago.
How come your men were unable to control them, which led to the clashes yesterday?
I always tell Ghanaians that when people decide that they don't want to obey the law, there's little law enforcement officers can do. So people should be law-abiding and also accommodating, more importantly, because if we are, that is Ghanaians, if we are by nature accommodating, in such circumstances that should come to the fore for everybody to see. But whereby people take the law into their own hands, people don't respect the law and the members of the security forces, such things could happen. Had not been the fact that the reinforcements from Kofodia Central District and the regional police headquarters were able to mobilize and go there quickly, it could have been very, very fatal. This crash would have been very, very fatal. If you look at it, 10 wounded, even then. So they should all help us, the election security task force and our personnel, to police this election without any such unfortunate incidents. So your question is that short answer to your question is that everybody should be law-abiding and play his or her role according to law.
Now, we understand that the NPP leadership in the region has been addressing a news conference. Let's go straight on the lines and speak to Maxwell Kudoko of our sister station, Adom FM, for the very latest on that. Good afternoon to you, Maxwell.
Good afternoon, Araba.
Yes, we understand that some sort of agreement has been reached between the parties. What are the details?
Well, the Eastern Regional Police Command just finished with a meeting with both political parties, that's the NPP and the NDC. It was chaired by the Deputy Regional Police Commander, ACP Al-Hassan Nuhu Jangu. And both parties agreed that from now till December 7, when we will run the elections, none of the parties, or it is prohibited for both parties to organize health walk concurrently or simultaneously, or if you like, on the same day. And then also, I'm told it was agreed that Saturday the NPP will hold their work, Sunday the NDC will do same, and the following week the NPP will do their work on a Saturday, and the NPP will do it on a Sunday. So basically, this is the agreement both parties had, or this is the consensus that secured today's meeting. Well, I have with me the new Gambia North Constituency Chairman of the NPP. They are currently addressing a press conference. We want to ask you if they are okay or they are certain with the decision that was taken by both parties at the police headquarters. Mr. Kujo Ajiman is the chairman. Chairman, are you okay with the decision taken so far?
Well, my brother, thank you very much for your call. I believe that we are all looking forward to bring peace in the constituency and see how this 2016 election will be free and fair, and for the people to come out and vote. And I think when we engage with the police, the issue is how we'll be able to organize the activities that will bring peace for everybody.
So are you okay with the decision?
Well, we are all part of the decision, and I'm okay with it. And we are also agreed to commit to the peace and make sure that every side will make, the organizers will make sure that their people will handle themselves and carry themselves responsibly.
You are just about addressing a press conference coming from a meeting with the security. What you don't understand that you want to straighten by this press conference? What are you hoping to say here?
Well, the press conference is based upon what actually happened yesterday and what the press release they have also issued. So we are also responding to the issue that happened yesterday. So what is it? The meeting that we held with the police commanders is how we will define the next activity. Because we did not go to discuss what actually happened, and everybody gave his side of the story. The way forward, that is what they put in place, that our next program, that we may not able to engage each other anymore. So what we are going to address today is about what happened yesterday.
So what happened yesterday?
Well, I think the most of the press houses have heard, and we are going to issue the press conference, and you will hear the side of our story. What is it? Well, it's about what happened. So you are in presence of my press conference. So why don't you just listen to my press conference and then we go from there? Because you probably may know what actually happened. But I mean, like I said, what happened yesterday is something that has never happened in my constituency for the past 24 years that we have been in this democracy. It was so bad that we realized that the intimidations that the NDC are planning because of their 50-50 agenda in this constituency and other constituencies in the Eastern region, so our members were not able to.
All right, so you just had the NPP constituency chairman for the New Dwabin constituency, Isaac Kujo there, I believe, speaking to our reporter, Maxwell Kudekon. But the news is that the latest is that the two parties have agreed with the police to hold separate health walks. So the NPP will hold their health walk on a Saturday, whilst the NDC holds its health walk on a Sunday. Well, the clashes in Asokore is the latest following the violence between the two parties at the NPP presidential candidate's residence in Nima. A similar exercise at Abuabo in Kumasi during a recent tour by President Mahama nearly resulted in violence, but for the intervention of security agents. There are calls for the police to ban political party health walks until after the December elections. Dr. Bosman Asari, who's the head of the political science department of the University of Ghana, believes that is the way to go if it will only uphold the peace currently being enjoyed in the country.
I think that if as a country we agree that this is certainly in the national interest, because we don't want a situation whereby because of elections we are going to elect someone to become president, a parliamentarian. So if parties are going to be having health walks, and at the end of the day we are going to have instances where there will be conflict, disagreements, which may end up stretching the police service or leading to the loss of life, I think it will be legitimate. And if you are a judge, you always want to make sure that things are done in such a way that it will promote the good of the country. So I think those who are calling for the ban, this is a legitimate call, and I believe the police administration should seriously be looking at it.
But again, Doc, let's look at the other side of things. The political parties hold these health walks for a reason, don't they? It's to galvanize their base and shore up support. Will that not also cost them their electoral fortunes?
No, I think that all the political parties are doing that. So once you decide to ban, then it appears like you are not giving any special advantage or disadvantage to a particular political party. And I know the parties are interested in the good of the country. And let's also be very frank that the parties are led by individuals who generally understand that elections, campaigning, everything must be peaceful. But the parties are also being followed by individuals who don't understand what tolerance, democracy, and some of these concepts are all about. And these are individuals, they may not even be listening to the instructions of their party and party leaders.
Now, call it coincidence, but whether it could have been avoided or not, the two main contenders for the presidency, the NDC's John Dramani Mahama and the NPP's Nana Akufo-Addo, have both taken their campaign to the Upper East region today. The two are battling for the hearts and minds of the voters there. Although the NDC has an edge over the opposition party in terms of its support base, it is determined to maintain its hold whilst the NPP seeks to capture more votes. Let's begin with an update of the president's campaign there. Correspondent Albert Sorry joins us on the line. Hello, Albert.
Hello, Araba.
Bring us up to speed on the president's campaign there. We know that he's beginning a campaign of the region today there. They have a huge support base there, but what has he been telling his supporters and residents there?
Yes, the president started the tour yesterday when he arrived, and after visiting a few traditional leaders, he came to address a rally in the capital, Bolgatanga, yesterday evening. And the message has basically been about the development that the NDC has brought to the Upper East region. One key point of criticism from the NPP as far as the Upper East region is concerned usually is that as far as they are concerned, the NDC government has not brought much in terms of development to the Upper East region. One example was when the president was coming to the region during the accounting for the People's Tour. They held a press argument that the president would not have anything to commission in this region. But contrary to this, the president has been touting his achievements. He's talked about new phases of the Bolgatanga hospital that his government is doing. They are also doing some of the town roads. They started working on the Boku Road and some other achievements. This morning, he's visited the Bolgatanga hospital where they are trying to improve by bringing a few more faces to that place. And there he inspected the work that has been going on, and he said that they are looking at finishing it soon so that we will not have instances where we will have to be transferring people from Bolga Hospital to Tamale because the Bolga Hospital is unable to cater for certain health conditions.
Albert Sorry, he's our correspondent for the Upper East region. Well, we do know that the NPP flag bearer, Nana Akufo-Addo, is also taking his campaign there today after addressing a huge rally in the Volta region, and we will bring you updates on that as and when we get them. But still in the north, the NPP has raised red flags over what it says are pre-marked ballots in the Savelugu constituency, even as it urges vigilance among its polling agents. According to the party, over the weekend, all political parties were given an opportunity to inspect the seals on the bags containing the election materials for 31 constituencies in the northern region. The party says that during the exercise, its representatives also requested to inspect the contents of the bags, including the ballot papers, and discovered that parliamentary ballot papers for Savelugu constituency arrived with the NDC candidates having his ballot column already marked on, which on voting day could have been confused with a thumbprint. The NPP believes that the consequences of this, if left unchecked, would have been that voters who cast their ballots for other candidates risk having their votes rejected. So, and according to them, their representatives immediately objected to these ballot papers, and the Electoral Commission convened a meeting with the political parties. Let's get more details on this from NPP Northern Regional Secretary Sule Salafo, who joins us on the line. Many thanks for your time. What is this mark you say was on the NDC's candidates ballot column? Describe it to us.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your listeners. We were invited to the regional police command to inspect the ballot papers that were from the Electoral Commission. In fact, the other political parties have read, then the regional directors of the EC were also there together with the police. In fact, Ahmad Sule, who is a deputy commissioner of the EC, was also there later on. Now, when we started inspecting the ballot papers, the agents we assigned, but I was there together with the Director of Elections and other party people, but the work was very tedious, so we had to assign some other people to facilitate the smooth and the fastest, checks on the ballot papers. Now, when we got to Salvo, we saw that somehow there was a mark on the face of the parliamentary candidate for the Salvo constituency, and I drew the attention of the Deputy Regional Director of the Electoral Commission to the fact that we were not going to accept it because they have told us that elections are won at the polling station and they won.
Very well. We understand that, but has that problem been rectified?
No, it has been rectified. When we protested, they said we should go and talk to Ahmad Sule. But I said no. I had nothing to do with Ahmad Sule. I was invited to the police headquarters by the regional director of the Electoral Commission. And once Ahmad Sule was there, they should go and deal with him. So they went into the office at the police headquarters, discussed with Ahmad Sule about 30 minutes, and now came out to say that yes, our protest was upheld and that the ballot papers will be banned and new ones will be printed out. So basically that's what happened.
All right, many thanks. That is the NPP Northern Regional Secretary Sule Salafo there. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back. You're watching Election Brief. You're welcome back. We're staying in the north because the two main parties have been trading accusations against each other as the campaign heats up. They've been making ethnocentric comments about each other that many consider as unhealthy for the political environment with barely a fortnight to this year's crucial general election. Raymond Akwa has more.
Sometimes I feel sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today, and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in NPP. They will never give it to him.
That is President Mahama addressing supporters and residents of Laura in the Upper West region over the weekend when he toured the area as part of his campaign for a renewed mandate. His comments have exposed him to huge criticism and condemnation by some who insist it is unbecoming of a president to make such ethnocentric statements. But even before the dust settles on the matter, the running mate of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, fired back, insisting President Mahama is not the kind of president the people from the three regions of the north are proud of.
We have a northern president who presides over the lack of feeding grants to our secondary schools in the north. And that is why we are asking for a change. Yes, John Mahama is our northern brother, but he has failed us completely. In fact, northerners never used to be known as corrupt people.
This is not the first time such inflammatory comments by personalities of the two main political parties have come up. Ahead of the 2012 polls, the NDC's John Mahama was criticized when he wooed northerners to vote for him based on his ethnicity, emphasizing he was one of them. His main rival, the NPP's Nana Akufo-Addo, also came out for condemnation for his Yen Akanfo comment, suggesting that Akan should support their own. It appears he may have learned his lesson, as only recently, whilst campaigning, he told his supporters in the Eastern region, where he hails from, to vote for him on the basis of his competence and not his ethnicity, whether the electorate will punish the president for such remarks.
Well, elderly statesman KB Asante is condemning the ethnocentric comments by political leaders in the country in the run-up to the 2016 elections. Listen.
To use that as a means of getting people to vote for them, which means eventually alienating some other people, I think is dangerous.
What are the implications?
The implications is that we become polarized. And even when they win, and you can see the trend in some areas, we should try to stop it. And this should be done, as I say, by leading politicians. They may now and again falter, get off their guard, but I think that should be very rare. They should know that they are fighting for United Nations. The moment we start thinking about Northerners, Ashantis, Akim, and so on, we are.
So you just heard elder statesman KB Asante there. On that note, we end Election Brief. I'm Araba Kumsin. Stay tuned because we have more programs ahead of you.